I didn't expect her to leave. Not really. She had threatened before. Quiet ultimatums, whispered in frustration, eyes down, lips trembling. But I always thought love would anchor her, that what we had was enough. I was wrong. She left on a rainy Tuesday. I remember because I stood by the window, watching the water slide down the glass like silent tears. Her suitcase rolled behind her like a final period at the end of a long, unfinished sentence. She didn't look back, and I didn't stop her. I wanted to. God, I wanted to. My chest felt hollow the second that door closed, like someone had reached in and taken something vital. But I just stood there, frozen in my own quiet storm, too tired to beg, too wounded to speak. The first few days felt like walking through fog. I'd wake up reaching for her, check my phone for messages she hadn't sent, make coffee and pour 2 cups out of habit. Her absence echoed in the walls. Her laughter used to fill the hallway, warm and musical. Now there was just the hum of silence and the occasional creak of loneliness settling into the floorboards. I started living like she was never coming back, because that's what people do when someone they love walks away. They survive. I deleted our photos one by one, not out of anger, but mercy. I packed her books into a box and put it in the closet. I stopped talking about her, stopped wondering if she missed me, started telling myself the things you have to say to heal. She's gone. She chose this. You'll be okay. And slowly, I was. I began to move again, not fast, not joyfully, but forward. I read books I'd been putting off, started jogging in the mornings, headphones in, heart open. I saw a therapist, not because I was falling apart, but because I wanted to understand why I let it get that far in the first place. And somewhere between the silence and the self-reflection, I met someone new. Me. The version of me that existed before I made her my entire world. The version that laughed loudly, dreamed fearlessly, and didn't walk on eggshells to keep someone from walking away. 3 months passed, then 4, then 6, and then one night, like a stone skipping across calm water, she came back. It was a simple message. Can we talk? 3 words. 3 words that made my stomach drop and my heart twist. I stared at the screen for a long time. Not because I didn't know what to say, but because I'd spent months learning how not to feel this exact feeling. I didn't respond right away. I let her sit in the waiting, not to be cruel, but because I needed to protect what I'd rebuilt. When I finally replied, it was short. What kind of talk? She answered quickly. The honest kind. She came over that same night. Same coat, same perfume, same face, but somehow not the same woman. There was something tired in her eyes, not just the fatigue of a long day, but the weight of regret. She looked like someone who had carried a truth for too long and finally decided to set it down. We didn't hug, didn't smile. We just sat across from each other on the couch where we used to spend Sundays, tangled in each other's limbs. And then she spoke. I thought leaving would make me happier, she said, voice soft, like it might break. I told myself I needed space, but really, I just wanted to see if the grass was greener. It wasn't. I didn't interrupt, just listened, watched her unravel piece by piece like she was shedding every lie she had told herself. I missed you, she said, but more than that, I missed who I was with you, and I didn't realize until I was gone that the problem wasn't you. It was the way I stopped showing up. I looked at her then, really looked, and for the first time, I didn't feel anger. I felt sorrow, not for me, but for her. Because I had already crossed the bridge she was just now approaching. You left, I said quietly. I know, she whispered, and I'm sorry. She leaned forward. But if there's even the smallest part of you that still wants us, I stopped her. Not harshly, just enough. There's always a part, I said, but I've grown bigger than that part now. She blinked back tears. I could see the fight in her, the hope that maybe she hadn't come too late. But the truth sat between us like a quiet witness. She hadn't just walked away from me, she walked away from us. And in doing so, she made room for me to finally choose myself. I'm glad you came, I said, standing. I needed this too. But I'm not the man who waited by the phone anymore. She nodded slowly, pain etched in every line of her face. I understand, she said. I just needed to know you were okay. I am, I told her. I finally am. She smiled, broken but sincere, and walked to the door. This time she looked back. But I didn't move, and neither did my heart. Some people leave to find themselves, others leave and realize what they lost. But sometimes the real story isn't about who returns. It's about who you become in their absence. If you've ever had someone come back after you already let go, share your story in the comments. You're not alone. We're healing together.